Have you ever noticed how, as we get older, the idea of going to a loud party or crowded gathering just doesn't feel the same? Maybe you once loved those big get-togethers, the lively chatter, the music, the energy of being surrounded by people. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. It's not that you dislike people. You still care deeply about your friends and family. But now you find yourself craving peace and quiet more than noise and excitement. And the surprising part, it feels good. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is something many people experience as they reach their 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's not about loneliness or becoming antisocial, it's about something deeper: independence, clarity, and the joy that comes from truly knowing yourself. There are many reasons older adults begin to embrace silence and independence. These reasons aren't just ideas, they come from lived experiences and moments we've all shared, often without realizing we're all going through the same transformation. I've discovered something I never expected. I genuinely enjoy my own company. When I was younger, I often felt the need to be surrounded by others to feel connected, to feel like I mattered. But now, in my 70s, I've realized something profound. I actually enjoy being alone. Not in a lonely way, but in a deeply peaceful, fulfilling way. It's as if I've finally met myself after all these years and discovered that I'm pretty good company. Whether I'm reading a book, taking a quiet walk, or just sitting with a warm blanket and my thoughts, there's a richness in these moments that's hard to explain. I no longer need the noise of others to feel seen or valued. Peace feels more rewarding than applause. Not long ago, a friend invited me to a big party. Years ago, I would have jumped at the chance, maybe even spent days planning the perfect outfit. But this time, I said no, not because I didn't care, but because I already had plans. My plans: staying home in my pajamas with a bowl of popcorn, watching my favorite old mystery series. And you know what? It was bliss. Quiet, gentle bliss. No regrets. That's one of the gifts of growing older. You realize you don't need to prove anything anymore. You don't need a room full of people to feel loved. You learn to love yourself in the quiet, and that's not loneliness. That's strength. That's also about energy. When we were younger, it felt like we had an endless supply. We could work all day, dance all night, and wake up ready to do it again. But these days, energy is precious. We have to choose carefully how we spend it. Have you ever gone to a big social event and come home feeling completely drained? Not just tired, but emotionally spent? I have. And at some point I began asking myself, was it worth it? Sometimes yes, but often, the answer was no. Compare that to meeting an old friend for coffee in the morning sunlight. You sit down, talk about real things, not small talk, and leave feeling lighter, not heavier. That's the kind of connection I treasure now. It's not about being around fewer people, it's about being around the right people in the right way. And sometimes, the best way to recharge is to not go out at all. No putting on shoes, no looking for packing, no worrying about when the night will end. Just you, your own space, and the things that bring you comfort. Home becomes more than a place, it becomes a sanctuary. You're not hiding from life, you're protecting your peace. As we get older, we also learn to choose what really matters, especially when it comes to relationships. For years, I felt the need to keep every friendship alive, to show up for every connection, just because I thought I should. But one of the quiet gifts of aging is clarity. You start to notice which relationships fill you up and which ones leave you feeling drained. I remember a friend I'd known for decades. Every time we spoke, I felt wrung out. It was always me giving, me listening, me reaching out. One day, I asked myself, what am I really getting from this friendship? The honest answer was mostly stress. So I gently stepped back, not out of anger, but to make space for relationships that truly uplift me. And that decision changed everything. It's not selfish to let go. It's self-respect. Maybe you've felt guilty for pulling away from big events. Maybe someone's told you, you've changed, like it's a bad thing. But here's the truth. It's okay to change. It's natural. It's growth. And sometimes, the most meaningful growth happens after 60, when we allow ourselves to evolve and prioritize what we truly need, not what the world expects. Something else begins to shift too: our relationship with time. Time stops feeling like something to fill and starts feeling like something to savor. We stop overloading our schedules, racing from one thing to the next. We slow down not because we have to, but because we want to. And in the slowing down, we find clarity, connection, and joy. That joy might look simple to someone else: watering plants, finishing a puzzle, watching the clouds, but to us, it's profound. We stop chasing deadlines that don't matter. We stop living for the approval of others. We start living for what's real and meaningful. There's something beautiful about this season of life. We stop needing to be seen or heard by a crowd because we understand ourselves better than ever before. And with that comes a new kind of independence, not the defiant independence of our youth, but a softer, wiser one. It says, I know who I am, I know what I need, and I trust myself enough to honor that. That independence shows up in small ways: saying no without guilt, choosing rest over obligation, listening to your body and your heart. I remember the first time I said no to a weekend trip without giving a long explanation. I just said, thank you, but I'll be staying home. And that was it. No guilt. And I felt empowered, not because I rejected something, but because I chose myself. This stage of life isn't about doing less, it's about doing what matters. It's about living more intentionally. It's about honoring time as the treasure it is. And when you do that, even silence feels different. It stops being an absence of sound and starts being a presence of peace, of self-awareness, of joy. So if you've been feeling that shift toward more quiet, more simplicity, embrace it. It's not about stepping back from life, it's about stepping deeper into it. It's about tuning into your values, your rhythm, your truth. You've earned the right to live this way without rushing, without explaining, without chasing things that don't matter. If you've ever felt like you're doing less, remember, it's not less, it's just more intentional. It's about living in a way that feels true to you. So give yourself permission to rest, to listen, to say no when you need to, and yes, only when it feels right. Spend a whole afternoon with a book, with your feet in the grass, or with your thoughts wandering wherever they want. That's not stepping away from life, that's living it fully and deeply. Does this resonate with you? Have you found yourself enjoying silence and independence more as time goes on? Share your thoughts in the comments side. Love to hear them. We're on this journey together, discovering one peaceful moment at a time. And if you found this message comforting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Strong Elderly Life for more content made with you in mind. Your wisdom, your experiences, your peace, they all deserve to be celebrated. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take a deep breath, enjoy the quiet, and remember, it's never too late to live the life that brings you joy. Here's to peace, presence, and living your best life at any age. Until next time, take care.